another just to re-up. Pray to God that in his heart he found forgiveness for me. It was nothing personal, it was just business for me. When I got on, I paid him back and told him it was ugly. I'd rather ask forgiveness like 100 times than be asking for permission in a beggar's line. Cause of who I be and check out how I tend to mine. I got a partner who don't eat no pork at dinner time, but let you act like you gon' ever hurt or injure mine. He have your woman, and that's by dinner time. I keep my eyes on glory till the devil get behind. Now bear in mind the devil made me offers I decline. We not aligned, not combined, I am not confined to any wicked system that these demons have designed. They frame a mind and have you salty as a bacon rind. I'm trying to mastermind how to help out humankind. I'm open mind, but I do not walk with none aligned. My state of mind is to keep a peace for peace of mind. Unlike Malcolm with my peace at the
It is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle, and we just heard it, and that means it's time for football at Lumen Field. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Denver Broncos. From a yard or two deep, here comes the return. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Now a first carry for Melvin Gordon. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and putting the defense back on its heels.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Gordon. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat, in every meeting with reporters. This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
And with very little time left on the play clock, Pete Carroll's going to call timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's 2nd and 10. They go play action with Wilson. He'll buy some time right. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play, and gave up a bigger one instead.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Touchdown, Seahawks. DK Metcalf, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Pretty nice work defensively there on the first down run as they hold him to a gain of a couple. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They run for the first time with Javonte Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front, that's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game and they know it helps their team.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 5. Now a give right side. It's Watson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Signal and a timeout on the whistle. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On 3rd down, Winston. He's got a man. It's Sutton that's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big third down pickup to keep their drive alive.
On first down, it's Watson. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. 7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. A give to Williams, running right. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On second down now, it's Williams. And he's going to get this pretty close to a first down as the tackle is made at the Seahawks 24. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. So offensively on this drive, 2 of 2 on third downs, and now they face a 3rd and inches. On the ground with a tight end, and he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They run the counter. Watson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Now a handoff. Here's Williams. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Play fake. Winston. Touchdown, Broncos. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Extra point from McManus is good. And we are tied here in the second quarter. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails, because they had it going pretty good last time, too.
Had to sit over there for a little while, didn't they? You know, they were eager, amped up to get back on the field after just scoring, hoping to get the ball back quickly. That didn't happen, so I'd say come out, just kind of get started again. You know, doesn't have to be anything dramatic. Just get moving, get loose again, and see if they can get it downfield.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
First and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far. But on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Second and 10. To throw is Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. The extra point now coming from Myers. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
The Broncos on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This is 3rd and 7. Jameis to throw it. A throw left side, hauled in by Hamler. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Williams. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now it's 2nd and 9. Williams. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The Broncos on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Outright, this one goes to Patrick. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy. Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They give it to Williams, running right. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he will have a first down here at about the 40.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Working out of the gun, Winston. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
Let's go.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this 3rd quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. This fielded right at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They do trail, but they have a chance to possess the football first to try and do something about it.
And that certainly makes it something of an important drive for them, because is it going to win the game? No, but you have to do something to bring some life to your sideline.
Williams going to get it again on second down. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. From the gun, Winston. He'll get this one to Patrick. And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a big play there for the Broncos. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. Now Williams. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
That's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down at 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain. Winston. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in, coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them, because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead. A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They run it here with Gordon. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Well, it certainly looked to me like he tapped into the quarterback's thought process there. And what I'm hearing more and more when I go around the league, defenders sitting in on quarterback meetings trying to learn more about how they think so they can be in the right position to be in the right spot, as he was there to pick that one off and take it all the way back for a touchdown.
McManus's point after is good, and that will tie our game here in the third. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense.
And that's caught inside the 30. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. You normally talk about the mobility and the accuracy first, but the arm strength, that's what can turn Russ into danger Russ.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they had this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity, unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
Now Gordon on first down. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And just a yard to go here on second down.
Let's go, B, let's go. Let's go.
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength. I don't know about you, but I like this call. 3rd and inches, and instead of worrying about getting it back to a running back and maybe there's some penetration from the defensive front, just go ahead and take it, move forward, and pick up the first down.
And as we say often, shows confidence in your offensive line.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he stopped immediately there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal.
Check it back.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And it's caught. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's third and goal.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. Oh, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. So Wilson heads to the sideline, and on comes Jason Myers for the Seahawk field goal. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. Myers' kick is good, and they take a 17-14 lead. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this 4th quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ballgame. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They run it again with Williams. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by the Seahawk defense. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. Winston. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
3 tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. 43 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. Play action now, Winston. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Here's Sam Martin now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And yikes, terrible kick headed straight for the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game, and you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
They're right with the 4-minute offense.
There goes Melvin Gordon. And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Now Wilson. A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. Touchdown. DK Metcalf with his third touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Myers connects on the PAT, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And the drive starts with a completion left side. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle, they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Throwing again on second down. Winston. And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down. The Broncos on third down. They've been tough to stop. 8 for 10 so far. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. Here's Winston. Finding the open man, and that's Tim Patrick. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
In this situation, the dictation is coming from the defense, right? They're going to tell you, you can have 6, 7 yards, do that all the way downfield. Let's just go ahead and take the time off the clock. I think they've got to start attacking vertically a lot more.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time. Winston on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now it's Carson. About 3 yards there to the 27.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. There goes a deep ball, end zone, and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are right back in this football game. And now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Winston to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Well, they've certainly had trouble unlocking this defense through 3.5 quarters, so I don't expect it to get any easier now. You know they're going to be sitting back and waiting on everything, and they force an incompletion there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Here's Winston. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. So that a double whammy. Not only do you have to give away the football, but the 2 points mean this is now a 2-score game.
And 2 doesn't seem like much, does it? But it means everything in this situation, because now they're going to have to look back, and ultimately, that might be the play that ends up deciding this game.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And they're going to have this way down deep in Denver territory. It's a big play there for Seattle. One of the good things about throwing it in his direction, he usually has the size advantage on those 2-man catches.
And what I like about his game is that he carries himself at his full height. He understands it's an advantage and uses it at every opportunity.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Not quite the success they had last play. This one goes for 3 yards. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Oh, Wilson going to throw. They'll roll him out right. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Now it appears that the referee's been buzzed, and we'll get a review. And this being inside 2 minutes of play, everything coming from up above. So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the officials saw as this play will stand as is. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that will make this a 19-point game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one. They'll probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
So the victory here for Seattle, and they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree, matched up against a top 5 defensive unit in the league, and they pretty much had their way.
Yeah, that was the interesting part about it, because normally when we see this defense play, they have their opportunities and they make their plays, don't they? They knock them back on their heels, they take the ball away, they change field position. In this case, what you said is so apt. They had their way with them, took it to them, and knocked them back on their heels and surprised the heck out of them.
So for the Seahawks, they get a much-needed victory to get to 3-5 on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the L.A. Chargers. Meanwhile, for Denver, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this, as they're not back in action until week 11.
Salute when you see me. That jealousy is an ocean, and you either float or you sink it. Moment of truth, credit check, you not approved. BB King, I'm in love with the blues. Don't start me up, I got finishing moves. Look, salute when you see me. Slid through all the commotion, it's breaking news, they got an ad on TV. Popping out on them, I'm politicking, probably in a section where you not permitted. My honey's matching my Dodger fitted, playing all goal, ain't no stopping in it.